Hey y'all, and thanks for dropping by Designed by Kathy. Today we're going to do an acrylic pour on 11 by 14 canvas. I had a suggestion from one of my subscribers, Joyce. I want to thank you, Joyce. We're going to be using a cookie cutter, also going to be using some strings. Have several parts to this video because we have to kind of go through a couple of little processes. So I hope you'll stick around till the end and see what we come up with. These first two steps that I'm gonna do on this project, I'm using white Foliage Green by Delta, and again Delta, this is Fountain Blue, and Apple Barrel Territorial Beige. And then white is Anita's from Hobby Lobby. So I've got these mixed up with my Floetrol. 2 parts Floetrol, 1 part of your paint. I don't want a lot of white, but I want to have a little break up here and there. So I am going to start with my layering. I got to think about where I want it to go. Okay, so we'll start this way. This. Just remember, always what goes in your cup first is going to be what comes out last. When you're thinking about if it's something that matters about how your colors are going to come out, sometimes it doesn't really make that much difference. So it's just, however you feel about it. Again, I want to thank Joyce for this suggestion. I'm gonna give this a little whirl here, and we're gonna see what happens. Okay, so now I'm gonna start with I want my greens and browns to be here, and I want my blues to end up here. So that's the theory of why I wanted to do the layering the way I did. So we're gonna just start. Making sure I get all those edges covered with the runoff here is a perfect way to do that. Well, this upper part was looking a little bit too stripy for what I was wanting to do. So I've mixed up some more blue, went with a little bit darker blue, still the Territorial Beige, and I want this portion to be a little different. So let's just see what we can get to happen here. I don't really want to lose all of this, but like I said, I just wasn't liking, it was just too many stripes. Wasn't what I had in my mind. And you know how that goes when we have something in our mind. It's like when you're trying to find the perfect pair of shoes and you find all these other shoes, but it's not what you had in your mind. It just didn't work. So with that being said, let's see what we can do here. I'm gonna see if I can let this blue kind of push this down a little bit. I still like that, but it was a little much. But I am super loving this now. This is perfect. Well, in my mind anyway. Okay, now what I wanna do is get all my messy stuff out of the way. And as we mentioned, in light of Holy Week and Easter coming up, I want to do a string pull to hopefully get, I want the look of, I think about Easter lilies. I mean, who doesn't? Well, I do. Let me put it that way. So I'm going to use, I think I can get away with one glove for this. I've got all my string, just a little cotton string here. Got all my string ready. And I'm gonna get over here where you can see. Of course, then I make a shadow, but at least it's not. Anyway, oh yeah, and I've got this little tiny dab of yellow. I don't know if this is gonna work what I have in my mind. Again, it's like buying the shoes that you're trying to find the perfect pair, but we'll see. So I'm gonna start over here. And I don't want this to be like super big. I'm gonna make little loop-de-loops. Maybe. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna hang on to that. Now, I don't know, like I said, this is just something I wanna see if I can get a little bit of just yellow. I want a little yellow to come out in this, what I hope to look like, resemble an Easter lily. So we'll see what that does. Okay, now I'm just gonna pull my string down through here. Yeah, we got a tiny dab of the yellow here and there. So I think I'll add a little more on the next one. And I know this isn't exactly a lily, but I think you'll get the drift here. Once we do our cookie cutter, and I am going to be using a cross. And I'm just letting this string drag off my popsicle stick so it won't be big blobs to drip everywhere, hopefully. Although this is a wall paint there. There we go. I'm going to try dabbing yellow in just a few more places. We've got a little bit of yellow there. Just wanted a little hint of it. And back again with our little dab of yellow. And we will just pull this one down through here. Okay, I'm gonna let this sit for just a little bit, and then we'll come back and we'll do our cookie cutter. For the cookie cutter, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be using a cross, and I'm gonna be using metallic gold and a little bit of brown. So y'all just sit tight. You don't have to go anywhere. I do, but I'll be back. You'll never miss me. Okay, so I am back now, and we're gonna do our final touch here. So I have this, this cross-shaped cookie cutter, and I am going to place it, I think I'm gonna place it right here. I'm just gonna make sure it's pressed down okay there. So I don't want a lot. I've got my metallic gold, and I've got this little bit of brown. It's kind of a reddish brown. What is this one called? This is, well, it's called Chocolate Bar, and it is Apple Barrel. So anyway, I just want to drizzle, I think, a little bit in there. So predominantly want the gold. And I've made up just these little tiny, these are actually my resin mixing cups, because I don't want much, because if I filled it up and pulled it off, it's just going to flow out. So don't want to do that. So I'm just going to put a little bit, lay a little bit here, you know, along the bottom to make the shape for sure. I see a few little places that, and I don't think as long as it keeps my shape, I don't really think it will matter that you see some of the green coming through. Like I said, I do not want too thick of a layer there. So now with the brown that I don't know what I did with my popsicle stick, see if I can just drizzle some in through here. Well, that's not drizzling, but I'm gonna drizzle it. I'm gonna swizzle it. Don't want to move my my cookie cutter, so I'm just dropping these little dots down in here. And then I'm just going to gently swizzle them as if you were drizzling almost. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit for about another 20 minutes because like I said, if I pull it off right now, I'm afraid it would just go whoosh, and I don't want that. I want it to stay. So I'm gonna let it sit for another 20 minutes and then we'll be right back. Okay, so I've let the paint sit in our cross cookie cutter for about 30 minutes, long enough to go make the hubby some tuna salad. I make really good tuna and chicken salad. I have a secret ingredient. So anyway, let's take a look. If this just flows apart, y'all are gonna see me cry. So we'll hope that's not what happens, but so let's see what happened. Okay folks, so it's time. Like I said, if this just flows completely away, I'm going to cry. So I'm gonna see if I can just gently remove this. Well, nice. This side, I could have swirled. I can swirl. Let's see if we can just swirl a little bit more in there. Even those up. I guess I couldn't see in that corner a while ago to make sure I had it all the way in the corner. I've just got little teeny tiny amounts here. Just want to try to even both sides up here. You can see right over here is where it comes out to. All right. I think that is pretty cool. I'm pretty pleased with it. So here's a shot so you guys can see what I was looking at instead of looking at it from the side. I was pretty pleased with how this came out. Like I said, I waited about 30 minutes on this one, 20 minutes on the previous. But anyway, I'm pretty tickled with how it came out. I think it's got a lot of uniqueness to it, and I'm really pleased with it. Anyway, it's not exactly an Easter lily, but I think you get the gist of it. It's the symbolism of some Easter lilies and crosses, and then our cross out of the cookie cutter. Anyway, have a blessed Easter week and weekend with your families. And hey, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for your likes, shares, and comments. And hey, if you're just stopping by, y'all, I hope that you'll subscribe as well.